All right, welcome back to Terrible at Fishing. Let's do a funny intro and then I'm going to do something I've never done before on my channel. So, what have I not done on my channel before? so, I seen this in other channels and I kind of never thought I'd probably do it. But lately, because of the playlist Klamath River Dam Removal, boy, have I been getting some wonderful little comments. Now, I'm not going to share the people who said these things, but you know who you are. So we're going to. I'm not going to put them up on the screen because then you see their names. But I want you. This is what some people, not even knowing me, that's what's so crazy. So here's one. He calls me another self-appointed expert. When he said carcinogens cause cancer, does he know his bleep from a hole in the ground? Of course, carcinogens cause cancer. That's why they are labeled carcinogens. Get a clue, he says. Well, this is somebody who would make fun of me for making a redundant statement instead of addressing the real issue. Carcinogens are something that are commonly found annually in Upper Klamath. A lot of people don't know what a carcinogen is. So saying that they're cancer-causing kind of clarifies it for those who don't really use that word in everyday life. I know I don't. So I put a reply. I love this comment. You know me. So he responds, your guess is, now I know he made some phonetical, some spelling errors, because it says your guess is God, I'm sure he meant good, as mine. Maybe get some schooling, college or university, before pontificating, which he spelled correctly. It's the short words he has a problem with. About stuff will help you in your quest for. I think his fingers were a little fat on this because he put legitimacy, misspelt it, and he put the number 3 in there. I'm not sure what. Guesses without facts make you look silly and paranoid. Well, I like looking silly, but paranoid I am not. One of the things I have learned from decades of an analysis of chemistry, experiments, computer programs, and physics, evidently English was not his strong suit. Results is that larger problems tend to generate lots of smaller ones. First address the larger ones, undam the lower Klamath, see what happens, and go from there. So, I understand that. But he does make this say, results is that larger problems tend to generate from lots of smaller ones. Well, if indeed the dams are the biggest problem, he kind of went backwards in his statement on this one. My reply simply was, I still love your ignorance or your arrogance. People don't know my level of education. I did work with NASA. I have made important contributions to science. And so I may look stupid. I have suffered a lot of strokes, brain trauma, things like that. So, and my Sicilian nature sometimes does come out. So, right. A lot of you do support me. But there are some of you that are just wonderfully cynical. And I love that about you. Because I think it comes from a good place. One of my commenters, I actually mentioned in my last video, or one of my latest video in this playlist, that I just like, somehow when an antagonist happens, you just like them. And again, that's Sicilian. In our family, we kind of antagonize each other. And that's kind of a demonstration of love and respect. And in time, if it's love or respect. And I think in this poster's comments, I think he means well. Another person here makes a. I don't think they watch my whole videos. But you keep saying they poisoned the river. Sediment isn't poison. He's right about that. Sediment isn't poison. It's what's in the sediment. And I kind of say that in my reply. And there are some people here that, one guy says, quit your whining. The dam should have never been built. Well, maybe. They should have never been built. But if they never were built, you wouldn't have a Klamath River. It's as simple as that. Look at my link video history, and you will see that the chokehold is at the Link River. So check that out. I'm just looking through some of these. So in some of the, I've looked at environmental impact reports. I've seen fairly recent. The latest one, I think, is in 2021. But in 2012 is really the EIR that they reference in order to start this this project. So there's been some pretty rude comments to me. But I don't take them personally. I really do not. If I was wrong in my statements, one, I will tell you I was wrong. But my statements were viewpoints. How can you be wrong in your viewpoint? And the beautiful thing about some of these replies is it's their viewpoint. And I don't criticize them for their viewpoint. I find that they're going around about expressing them to me could be politer. But you could simply say, from my viewpoint, this is what I see. I don't agree with you on this and this. Maybe we can come to consensus about this because I do see your viewpoint, but this is how my viewpoint is, and this is where I get it from. Is my viewpoint skewed a little bit by emotions? Yeah, all of ours are. Every one of our viewpoints are skewed by emotions. Is it skewed by information put into us that may not be the most reliable? Yeah, it happens from time to time. I may make a judgment call on something that's based on what I think is credible, but turns out not to be credible. That happens. We're human. We make mistakes. What I've been saying about the dam removal, though, about my feelings about the non-native species, I find that disturbing. I understand it, though. But it still disturbs me. Okay? You can't argue that. It still disturbs me. Seeing, a family of deer sink in the mud and have to be euthanized, that disturbs me. Seeing 2 bull elks in the mud and dying, that disturbs me. Okay? Those are things that are real. They're very real to me. And one thing I have learned about my career is to acknowledge somebody's right to have an opinion and to have feelings. And to discount those would be not only rude, but immoral from my point of view. It would be immoral for me to put my self over their self and say, I'm right. That just be, to me, it's an immoral thing to do. So, I leave these comments up for y'all to see. I don't take them down. I respond to them, and I try to be nice. I really do. I try to be respectful back to those who call me an idiot, those who call me this or that. That's okay. I figured your emotions got in there somewhere. And when we speak emotionally, my mouth, when it speaks emotionally, it ain't the wisest thing in the world to use. So, if you look at my posts in this playlist, you will see a lot of attacks on me. And I do appreciate those that come to my defense. I really do. And I really appreciate those who understand my point of view. You don't have to agree with it. You really don't. I mean, everything I see, I hear from people, I see from people, I see on the internet. You think I agree with it all? No, but I'm taking in information. And sometimes that's skewed one way or the other. Nowadays, you can't watch the news without having it being skewed to the left or to the right. You just... Old-time news, when I grew up, it was just the news. It was reporting. Here's what happened. Here's an accident. Here's who was involved. Boom, boom, boom. They're in the hospital. Hopefully there'll be survivors. Or whatever. That was how news was reported when I grew up. Nowadays, it's all this. It's all that. It's all, they're bad. They're bad. Oh, no, everybody's bad. It's okay to have an opinion. It really is. It's just a viewpoint. I go out, and this is something y'all don't know about me unless you watch my channel, all the time. But I contribute my time every month in the neighborhood and in Klamath Falls, and to help the homeless and to do things for people who need help every month. My children do it too. I teach my children to give back. So I never, I always find it interesting that the homeless can be very, very honest about their plight. And honesty requires humility. And it's something you don't see in people too often. So even though I may not agree with their lifestyle, which I don't, but sometimes they're victims of circumstances. Some of them love being homeless. I don't argue with people's, right to have an opinion. You should not argue with people's right to have an opinion, but share your opinion and see if you can learn from each other. A viewpoint. Viewpoints cannot be wrong because they're right to the person that has it. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to share some of these comments. One's been kind of nasty to me lately, very condescending. But I try not to be condescending, but I may come across that way. And I apologize if I do come across that way. I don't mean to. Sometimes I get emotional about certain things. And I may use words that are extreme, like liar. I think I apologize for that statement too. And, if there's an area where I've crossed that line to you, I will apologize to you. But understand too that the line that the line that I have is my line. It just is. Your line may be here. You may be here. Mine's here, or whatever. You may cross your line once in a while, and I may not even know it. So I used to manage a lot of people, hundreds. And somebody told me once that you manage people to the sensitivity of the most sensitive in the group. But you don't know who the most sensitive is until they're offended. And then you got to fix it. And then you got to adjust yourself to manage the group again. And then it happens again. And so you're constantly adjusting your management style. Because when you have hundreds of people in a group, you're going to have sensitivities all over the board. You just will. And you just got to be respectful of that person's sensitivity. Even if you may disagree with it, you may even think it's overly sensitive. Nowadays, we have these things called microaggressions. I mean, that means the person's really sensitive. So, nice thing about being retired, I don't have to deal with HR anymore. But I'm still respectful to those people around me. So, I want to thank you guys. And just keep putting the comments on there. really, dude. And you will see that my response to you doesn't really pound you back. I don't hit back hard. I may respond to you, but my days of hitting back hard is, well, kind of behind me now. I don't need to do it anymore. I just hope that people accept me for what I am. So, just a fishing Sicilian with, brain injury, among other things. You guys know I was just in the hospital with a stroke just a few weeks ago. So, anyway, you guys take care, and let's exit with another funny video. Ooh, you know what? I made another intro. This was a serious one. I think a serious intro I'll put in here. I think that's what I put. See what you think about it. I don't know. Maybe you. I can't remember it right now very clearly. That happens a lot. Orca intro dramatic. Ah, that's it. This one's dramatic intro. Oh. We got to adjust it. Okay, good. All right, you ready? This is my serious and dramatic introduction or outro. Take care, everybody. Here goes.